Hi, hello future bureaucrats of India. Welcome to LearnStroke IAS Crack Prelims 2023 segment. As you know, this is a prelims test series discussion where all the questions are completely sourced from the newspapers and current affairs. So let's go to the first question. As you know, I'm going to give you questions and I'll give you options and you have time to lock in as I read the question. Then we'll find the answer. Let's move on to the first question. Here we go. From the newspaper, which of the following statements regarding EPI or Environmental Performance Index is correct? Because Environmental Protection Index was in the news for so many reasons. And let's see 4 options. Let's see option number 1. India is the poorest performing country for environmental health as per this report. That means India is the most poorest among these countries according to this report. 2. India has a moderately high score on rule of law, control of corruption and government effectiveness. Even though it's weak on the environmental part, it has a moderately high score on rule of law, control of corruption and effective government. Statement number 3. The United Kingdom tops the list for this Environmental Performance Index. And last one, EPI, a biennial index, was started in 2002 as Environmental Sustainable Index by the United Nations Environmental Program or the UNEP. It was a part of that. So 4 options, you need to select which of the following are correct. So let's lock the answers. And what is your answer? Do you have an answer? Let's check it one by one. India is the poorest performing country for environmental health as per the report. Unfortunately, it's very hard to believe that India, being very a progressive nation, is the last among 180 nations, and India is at the 180th position, which is hard to believe. The government of India has officially rejected this survey and it raised its protest, and the government of India said, the Environment Ministry said that this is calculated on an unscientific basis without proper data. Just imagine the countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Nepal and even Nigeria, African countries, are much ahead of India in terms of environmental health. So that statement is absolutely right. India is the poorest country. Statement number 2. India has a moderately high score on rule of law, control of corruption and government effectiveness. False, because this index has a lot of parameters, close to over 40 parameters that they are taken, and one of this is rule of law, control of corruption, government effectiveness. That says India is also very low on that. So statement 2 is wrong. United Kingdom topped the list. No, it was Denmark. Denmark topped the list. So UK is also, statement number 3 is also wrong. The EPI, a biennial index, was started in 2002, right, as Environmental Sustainability Index, right, by the UNEP. No, it was not started by the UNEP. So which organization founded it? So what is the answer? Let's check out the answer. The answer was one only. The answer was one only. And this is the reason why it came in the news management. And you can just see it was started by the World Economic Forum in collaboration with the Yale Center of Environmental Law, nothing to do with the UNEP. So the answer was one only. And you can just see by the news, Environmental Performance Index fails green test, finishes at bottom. Is India world's least sustainable country? India calls Environment Index unscientific ranking based on performances. So India has condemned it. What do you think about this? Is India so backward? Just comment your answers below and let's see why India is doing this. So is India really that backward? You can just comment your answer here. So some of the key indicators were mentioned as biodiversity, protected area, species protection index, air quality, greenhouse gas emission, biodiversity, habitat index, waste management and so many other parameters. Denmark, UK, Finland, Malta, Sweden are one of the top 5 countries performing in this index. And you can see India is even backward behind Pakistan, Bangladesh, Vietnam and Myanmar. And this was started by World Economic Forum. And you can see the climate change performance, environment, health, ecosystem vitality. All these are the parameters. More than 40 indicators are there. And the one important aspect of this report which says that good policy results are always associated with wealth, or means GDP per capita, meaning economic prosperity makes it possible for nations to invest in policies and programs, which says that the report found that if a country is rich, if it has got money, then it has the capacity to invest in other areas. So without the wealth, economic prosperity, the country will not move forward. This is an important reference that I've taken from this. So the answer was, I hope you really got it. The answer was statement number 1. Yeah, it was statement number 1. All the other statements were wrong. And move on. Let's move on to the next question. Second question. Here we go. Consider the following statements regarding the European Union's latest mobile phone regulations. The European Union made a recent mobile phone regulations. Let's see what is that. Number 1, the European Commission, the executive arm of the European Union, is going to force smartphone manufacturers and other electronic makers to equip their devices with a standard lightning connector. That means the charge port, European Union is going to have a uniform model of every mobile should have a standard lightning connector as a charger. Statement number 1. Statement number 2. The move for a single unified charger in a mobile will cut waste and make life easier for consumers who would theoretically be able to use one charger for all multiple devices. I think people still go and ask people, do you have the C charger? Do you have the lightning charger for my iPhone? So there are different chargers for different electronic gadgets. European Union says from now onwards there is only one charge point for every devices, whether it is a tablet, whether it's a mobile, it should be one charge point. Statement number 3, the companies and manufacturers criticize the European Union for favoring giant mobile companies like Apple, which will benefit immediately, maybe because they have the lightning connector. So what is the answer? 1 only, 2 only, 1 and 3, and 3 only. What is your answer on this? Let's check out the answer. Statement 1, the European Commission, the executive arm of the European Union, is going to force the smartphone manufacturers for equipping with a standard connector. Is it statement 1 right? The statement 1 is wrong. The European Union is going to launch the charge point called C-type charger as the uniform charging port. It should be a C-type charger. It's not the small connector one as the Apple uses. The move for a single unified charger will cut waste and make life easier for consumers. Perfectly, the option 2 is absolutely right. Now everybody will be having a unified charger. Statement number 3, companies like European criticize that the European Union is favoring Apple computers. No, the Apple computer is going to be hit because majority of the Apple computers and the products of Apple do not have the C-type chargers. So in order to survive in Europe, they will have to change all the products by 2024. Every producer will have to come up with the C-port charger. So what is the answer? Let's find out the answer. The answer is 2 only. 1 and 3 statements are wrong. And let's see why this news came in. The Hindu reported, European Union agrees single mobile charging port, a blow to Apple. It's a big blow to Apple. European Union agrees to use single charging ports for all devices. European Union agrees to make common charger mandatory for Apple iPhones and other devices. So these are the news items from which the question was sourced. You can just see charge account. It is European Union standards by 2018. More than 50% of the mobile phones use a USB micro B connector. Close to 29% of the mobile have C connector. 21% have the lightning connector, which also the iPhone also have. Apple has launched C ports for the tablets and iPads, but it's yet to bring it in the phone system. So that is why it can be a big blow to the Apple industries and many other people who are having different ports. So I think this is a good suggestion. Every system, every device will have a single C charge point. So important questions from science and technology. Mobile is something that we all have. I hope you got the answer right. So the answer was 2 only. All the 1 and 3 statements are wrong. So read more about this and let's move to the next important question. Yeah, let's move to the next important question. Question number 3. Environment. Consider the following statements regarding the recent news of cheetah translocation to India. The question corresponds to the cheetah translocation. 3 statements. Statement number 1. Declared extinct years ago, the first batch of cheetahs will be translocated from South Africa to Kuno National Park in Rajasthan. Statement 1. Solve it with me. Statement 2. The cheetah is believed to have disappeared from the Indian landscape when the Maharaja Ramanuj Pratap Singh Deo of Korea hunted and shot down last 3 recorded Asiatic cheetahs in India. Statement number 2. Statement number 3. The government of India hasn't officially announced the extinction as they follow the report of World Wildlife Fund or WWF. The government hasn't officially made a statement that it is extinct. It is only following the WWF statement. Which of the following statements are right? 1 and 2, 2 only, 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. 5 seconds, take and find out what is the answer. Let's discuss the answer. Statement number 1. Declared extinct years ago, right? The first batch of cheetahs will be translocated from South Africa to Kuno National Park. Absolutely right. In Rajasthan. Is Kuno National Park in Rajasthan? No. It was in Madhya Pradesh. So this is one way of making you realize that even such questions like national parks, wildlife sanctuaries coming from the news, they are asked as question in UPSC. So in a way, whenever you see this, try to learn this thing. So statement 1 is wrong. It is not in Rajasthan, it is in Madhya Pradesh. Statement number 2. The cheetah is believed to have disappeared from the Indian landscape when the Maharaja shot the 3 Asiatic cheetahs. The statement is absolutely right. It's a correct statement. Statement number 3. The government of India hasn't officially announced the extinction. Statement is false. The government of India has officially announced this thing. So the correct answer is going to be 2 only. 1 and 3 statements are wrong. This is the reason why they asked this question. 70 years after the extinction, first batch of cheetahs to arrive from Africa. Cheetahs from South Africa may arrive. And you can also see cheetahs to return to India 70 years after getting extinct. Maharaja Raman, you can see that Pratap Singh Deo of Korea is believed to have hunted. It's also given in the newspaper. So I think you know why the news is important. And apart from that, the Kuno National Park is in Madhya Pradesh. And for this, the National Tiger Conservation Authority, the NTCA, read more about National Tiger Conservation Authority as well as the Wildlife Institute of India are taking a lead initiative on this. Not only that, as per a Supreme Court order, many sites were evaluated for this. That means more wildlife sanctuaries for this. So please remember, we talk about the Mukundara Hill Tiger Reserve and Shergad Wildlife Sanctuary, where in Rajasthan, the Gandhi Sagar, Kuno, Madhav and Nora Dehi Wildlife Sanctuary, all in Madhya Pradesh. So please, out of this, the Kuno was selected. So please remember the wildlife sanctuaries and the locations also. So that was the question on cheetah. Let's move to the next important question, the 4th question. Consider the following statements regarding the sugar production in India. 2 statements. India has become the largest producer of sugar in the world in the year 2022-23. Just now, more than Brazil, while it would be the 2nd largest exporter of sugar. That means India has become the largest producer of sugar, but the 2nd largest exporter of sugar. Statement number 1. Statement number 2. Almost 80% of the sugar is produced from Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. And apart from this, because 2 states south of Narmada, Maharashtra and Karnataka, which is very nearer to the ports, the export takes place maximum in these areas. So 2 statements, which of them are right? Statement 1 or 2? Lock your answers and let's see the options. 1. India is the largest producer of sugar in the world. So don't you think Brazil is the largest producer? Brazil was the largest producer, but now in 2022-23, India has overtaken Brazil to be the largest producer of sugar and the 2nd largest exporter of sugar. Is it right? Yes, India has become the 2nd largest exporter of sugar. This statistics can change anytime, okay? By the time you write in 2023, please be sure if the statistics changes or not. Look for the newspapers. About 80% of the sugar is coming from Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka, and south of Narmada, the states are exporting more. Absolutely right. Both the statements are right. So the answer would be both 1 and 2 is the answers. So I think you can get the mark for this. So this is the newspaper item that you see. India sugar exports at record 8.6 million ton till May this year. And India becomes the largest producer of sugar in the world. All these are current affair articles that came in the newspapers. So let's move on to the last question and the 5th question of Crack Prelims 2023. A classic UPSC question that they asked in 2022 prelims. Match the following question with the same option type. All these are mountains. Mount Elbrus, Europe. Mount Denali, South America. Mount Aconcagua, North America. Mount Kosciuszko in Australia. Select the correct answers. You will see the options just like UPSC 2022 asked. Only one pair, only two pairs, only three pairs, and all the four pairs. You know, when such question comes, eliminating, if you know one is wrong, you can search for options which has got one and you can eliminate that one. But when you get a question as one pair, two pair, three pair, four pair, it's very difficult and you need to know this. So have you locked this answer? Mount Kosciuszko, Aconcagua, Denali, Elbrus. Let's check the answer. Here we go to the answer. Only two pairs are correctly matched. Which are that pairs? Mount Elbrus. Is it Europe? Yes, Mount Elbrus is in Europe. Mount Denali, South America. That is wrong. Mount Denali is in North America. And Aconcagua, it is in South America. So the options were flipped. South America. And Mount Kosciuszko, it is in Australia. One of the biggest in Australia. It is in Australia. So, you know why this question was asked? The Times of India, Hindu, and a lot of articles noted this. Visakhapatnam youth scales another new height. Visakhapatnam's Anmish Verma scales Mount Denali, the North America's highest mountain. You can see the picture. So that was why this match the following questions was asked, and in this article they mention many of these mountains also. So try, when you see such mountains, when you see such questions, try to understand it. So that was the 5 questions of Prelims Test Series Current Affairs discussion for Crack Prelims 2023. I hope you like the questions. So read more questions. There are a lot of hints that I gave you to prepare on your own for a strategic civil services preparation. Follow us at LearnStroke IAS for more test series. Wait, there are more test series like this coming up. Thank you so much. Subscribe and like our channel and share it with your civil services preparing friends so that they also benefit. Thank you so much.